Verbal or life.
Okay, Donald Trump made the genius move of working at McDonald's for 15 minutes. 15 minutes more than Kamala Harris, according to him. And it was a genius PR move. Looking like a working man, going out there, doing the job, and so many cameras recorded the whole thing. This man is a genius. All in PA. I have no idea how people cannot vote for this man who understand the regular working people. Amazing. Let's take a look in this video because this is crazy. By the way, my name is Noel, battling MS, and I just wanted to bring this report because what Trump is doing is on another level. Personally, I would have offered him a job. Like, after you're done with your presidency, sir, you're welcome to come back here to put in the work. Insane. And that would have been a joke, but Trump is funny like that.
Former President Donald Trump put on an apron today to pull off a political stunt in Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I do.
Working the fryer to try and claim without any evidence that Vice President Kamala Harris didn't work at a McDonald's while in college, as she said she did.
She never worked at McDonald's.
At a rally in Latrobe,
Well,
Pennsylvania,
let's
near
keep it the way it
Pittsburgh
is.
Saturday,
Let's just
Trump
go
issued some of his
29,000
harshest
of us.
insults of Harris yet.
You're a vice president. The worst. You're the worst vice president.
And the fact that these
That's all they play, like the insults. A 2-hour conversation into the crowd. Of course, maybe like a 2-minute insult or 3 minutes, whatever time he spent on there. That's all they play on the mainstream media, trying to make you think that this man is wrong. But you know what? When it comes to political talk, it ain't that easy when you're doing a 2-hour talk.
these people are accusing him of a stage managed thing. Of course, the president has to have security because there have been 2 attempts on his life in the last 8 weeks. He can't just walk into a McDonald's and sign a W-9 and actually go on the payroll. That's just not how this works, especially given the security threats on his life. But look, he was interacting with people. He was talking to the employees. He was giving people food, and he was just being, I think, what he does best, which is just being among the people, talking to them about what they care
A man of the people. That's what we all saw
about. He showed, I think, genuine interest in the employees and their lives and where they came from and what they were actually doing in their job. And that's something you can't stage and you can't fake. That is just the genuine person that Donald Trump is. And it's why I think a lot of working people, even though, of course, he's a successful real estate billionaire, have this emotional connection to Donald Trump. You can't.
You know what it is to have a billionaire go in and do your job? A billionaire / ex-president to come into your job and put in the work, something that you always think nobody at that level will do, and for him to do it, man.
Can't make up that kind of connection. Unfortunately, Kamala Harris has tried and failed. And I think it's why her campaign is flailing a little bit right now, is because she goes into Sheets and does 4 takes of her buying Doritos. Donald Trump just goes into McDonald's and he is who he is, and people love him.
All right, guys. So everybody knows that yesterday, former President Trump broke the internet by working at McDonald's. Okay. President Trump was in the kitchen cooking fries. Okay. Cooking fries while cooking Kamala Harris for lying about working at McDonald's in an effort to appeal to middle-class voters.
All right. That's a black conservative talking.
Now,
he does great coverage. Want to give a shout out to Black Conservative. I want to put a link at the bottom of this video to his video so you can see his coverage of the whole situation. But again, another genius move by Donald Trump. I have no idea how he can lose this election.
President Trump can brag about having worked at McDonald's longer than Kamala Harris has, okay? Because she's never worked there, and Trump worked there for like 15 minutes, okay? But it was a great day. It was an excellent
15 minutes more than Harris.
day. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of joy, which is clearly something that the mainstream liberal media doesn't like anymore, right? You guys remember at the beginning of Kamala's campaign how they were talking about how much they loved the fact that her campaign was so joyful and they didn't like.
Let me fast forward, man, because he's being honest. He's pointing out how much of a liar they were, because it's the mainstream media doing all the work for Harris. She's too lazy to do anything.
It really humanizes Trump. It helps him appeal to working class voters. You have Democrats who are going on record also basically saying that this was a genius move as well.
I thought it was just a brilliant strategic move, and he had fun doing it, and clearly the people loved it, Natasha.
Josh, do you agree? A brilliant strategic move, because meanwhile, we do see Trump saying Harris never worked there, the Harris campaign having to defend that. What do you make of this back and forth?
I agree, I do. And if Democrats can't be honest, even when we may detest our opponent, then it's going to be counterproductive for us as a party. It was genius. He took what is such an infinitesimal attack that she never worked at McDonald's. It wouldn't even make the radar in a senior class president campaign, let alone a presidential campaign. And he turns it into another news cycle that he dominates. And quite frankly, it shows his ability to do retail. And I think it should spur the Harris campaign in these last 16 days to do alternative media, to take back, really the narrative, and to do shows like Joe Rogan, to do a chicken shop date and utilizing that alternative media, because if Trump continues to dominate the media dialogue for the next 16 days, it's not going to be good for us on election day.
So you have Trump deranged individuals, progressives like Cenk from TYT. You have Democrats also going on record saying that this is a genius move, this is a good move. And now you have a CNN panel, right? The CNN panel this morning came out and praised Trump for this move as well. You can't make this stuff up. Take a look.
Back
That's crazy.
to when the world knew Trump simply as a real estate mogul and a New York City tabloid fixture.
A big and tasty for just $1? How do you do it? What's your secret? Together, Grimace, we could own this town.
Oh, now Trump is stepping behind the counter at McDonald's, this time for a campaign stop in the battleground state of Pennsylvania.
I'm looking for a job, and I've always wanted to work at McDonald's, but I never did. I'm running against somebody that said she did, but it turned out to be a totally phony story. So if you don't mind, I want to work the French fry counter.
So Trump there once again claiming without evidence that Kamala Harris never worked at McDonald's in the 80s. That dispute inspiring this campaign stop over the weekend. Trump, of course, no stranger to the Golden Arches, his love for fast food, well documented. In 2019, Trump hosted Clemson's football team after they won the national championship and served up this spread of French fries and burgers at the White House. And during his Sunday visit to McDonald's, Trump again put on the apron. He manned the fry station. He handed out food through the drive-thru window to customers who, according to the Washington Post, were pre-screened by the Secret Service. The restaurant was closed to the public for the event.
Yeah.
I love salt. Wait a minute, I spilled some. I'm very superstitious.
Our panel has returned. So I have to say, when I first saw that image of Trump kind of hanging out the drive-thru window, a part of me thought, wow, is that real? I never thought he would do something like that. The Trump that we saw in 1999 in that old ad is the one that was much more familiar to me. Like, look, we're going to run this town, right? Like someone who owns a McDonald's, not someone who works in one. I mean, clearly they have a strategy to try to appeal to working class voters, try to, twist the knife on Harris. But I still found these images to be jarring.
Well, part of what is so striking about them is that he's not trying to not be Donald Trump. Like some politicians go and they try to dress up as somebody they're not. He's still got the red tie. He's still so clearly himself. And I think this was an unbelievably smart move, because one thing that has differentiated Donald Trump from other really wealthy politicians is that he has never been seen as the aloof, the billionaire who would never deign to hang out with the commoners. Like, he has always sort of portrayed himself as, I'm the rich guy who doesn't really like the other rich guys. I'm one of you. And this is part of this. I think this was insanely smart.
Well, to that point, it is part of a larger effort on the Trump campaign to sort of soften Donald Trump's image. It's why you've seen his grandkids sort of appearing at the rally and also spoke at the RNC. There's a larger effort going on by the Trump campaign to appeal to some of those suburban women that he's currently losing.
The most humanizing moment in that clip was when he threw the salt over his shoulder. It was like such a normal reaction that anyone who's like, oh, like we all do that when you're cooking or whatever. And so that was the most like normalizing and humanizing moment, I think, in this clip. But to your point, like he still has his shirt on, his tie on. Like most politicians would have showed up in like a collared shirt or something that said McDonald's and tried to like more fit in. I did find it striking that the whole restaurant was shut down and it was just sort of like a staged event. But I do think it is definitely like poking at the vice president.
I will
here.
also say though, him showing up with Grimace in that old ad, I bet that gets some more traction because Grimace is like a thing.
Yeah.
With Gen Z, like
is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
All
a
the
thing.
TikTokers, yeah.
It's a thing.
Oh, so you guys are cooler than me. I
I just read
no
about it.
idea.
I'm not even
Yeah. All right, coming up here on
Yeah. So
Everybody loved it. All right, everybody loved it, and it was not Trump AI. It was truly him, the man, looking so normal and just appealing to people, looking so regular. Even CNN loved it. You saw all those women laughing and enjoying the whole encounter, saying, wow, I only wish I would do something like that. That just looks natural and normal. You know, it's like a dare to all the Democrats puppets to go out there and present yourself like a normal human being around the commoners. Because here we go, a billionaire ex-president, a man with a title, you know, with a nice history, to come down to regular people and just identify with them. But you know what? It's my opinion. My name is Noel, battling MS, here at Verbal on Life. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. It informed you. Please give it a like, and I'll see you on the next one. Right? Don't forget to comment, share, and like. Peace.